Well, now that elections are over for the rest of the country, what that means is in our city, in Redondo Beach, elections are starting. We have our city elections in March of the odd years. So March 2017, March 2019, etc. And March 2017 is when my term on the school board is up. So today I have filed my FPPC Form 410 paperwork. And what that is the paperwork that allows us to report and collect money. In California, we've got the Fair Political Practices Commission, and they make sure that there is transparency in the elections. So the three of us that are incumbents that are running again have already agreed that we're all going to run, and we will run together in case anybody does want to run against us. And so this Form 410 is what is required of any committee, any political committee, that will be collecting more than $2,000. Don't know if we're going to collect that or not. We don't know until we know if somebody's opposing us. If somebody opposes us, then yes, we're going to have to raise $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, yard signs, mailers, that kind of political consultants pay for that to really make sure we win. And so we need that form. So that's what was the image that I showed on the Facebook post that led you to this, was the paperwork that we filed, or I filed for us. So it's filed and it's been put in. We'll get an FPPC ID number, which we'll put at the bottom of any yard signs. We'll put it onto any websites, put it onto any mailers, anything that we have will have that. And that way, anybody who is interested can use that ID number and look to see where our money comes from. Donors of less than $100 do not have to be reported, but any donation over $100 or $100 or more needs to be reported. So there's a lot of visibility here in California on to where the election money goes, as long as it comes to our committee. The issue in California, and probably lots of other places, is with the Citizens United ruling. A corporation or a PAC is the same as a person, and they have free speech. So if a political action committee wants to spend $100,000 on an election, they can do it, and they don't have to report where their money comes from. They just say, we spent this money. Doesn't matter who donated to them, and that transparency is lost. And so that's a bit of an issue. So we've got transparency, but they don't. And they can spend money on my behalf. They can spend money on anyone's behalf. They can do whatever they want, and it's not coordinated. I would not know what they're doing, when they're doing it, any of that kind of stuff. So that's the split. They say, oh, well, since you don't know and you're not coordinating, it's like they're just spending money like any citizen could spend money. But they're just a very rich citizen when they are a political action committee, which might be a business committee, might be a union committee, could just be a bunch of rich people, like that happens in the presidential elections. So a lot of interesting things go on like that. I'm hoping not to have to deal with that. I really do. Last time I ran, I didn't have to do any reporting because there were three of us, 3 spots, and we were done. And we are really hoping to do that again in March. Next week, I get to pull my papers, and then I don't know whether the due date is like right away. I've got to figure out all those dates, but I will be submitting my nomination papers or self-nomination papers, and a couple more forms that go with that. And when I'm done there, I'll let you know. And after December, I don't know, first week in December, when nominations close, we find out if anybody else pulled papers and submitted those. I expect somebody's probably going to pull papers, but they won't submit them back. We'll find out, and if you follow me, you'll find out too, so I'll let you know.